is off turn 4.
And turn 2, another one. McMurray goes around.
Oh, and he's coming right back up in the racetrack.
Caution is on the speedway.
Holy cow.
And you find the back end of Lyndon Amick's car stove in after that one.
You're still wrecking over off turn 4.
Oh, the 63 found it, Ken Alexander, as well as the 44.
44, he got trapped up there and couldn't go anywhere. He had to just run into the back of the 63 car.
And that's the reason normally a one-car spin ends up about a 5, 6, 7-car accident here.
Worst damage is on the back of the 26 stopped along the front straightaway. Lyndon Amick, somebody piled into the back of him.
The nose pretty good, Kenneth. All right, then if you get called up, we'll come in and look at it.
Ken Alexander's team, and there is Amick's car.
Oh, that
was the big hurt.
Don't raise the hood unless you have to, because you won't be able to get it back down.
We'll pick this up and show you what happened here.
We had so many cars spinning out, we can't get all of them.
One car around by himself.
That's the 84 car off turn 4 here. Now, while we're watching this, over on the back straightaway, the car gets around.
That's Brian Weber.
That's the same car there. He gets around on the front here, pushes the barrier out of the way.
Then as people checked up, the big wreck ended up down in turn 2. I didn't see who got in the back of Lyndon Amick or whether that was spinning up into the wall.
It looks like he must have backed it in the wall, or we'll be able to find who did that.
Yeah, right.
And they just got to start working on his car on pit road because he was at the back of the pack. He's already went a lap down sitting on pit road.
There's a clue, Darrell. The front end of Kevin LePage's car is pretty well torn up. Now, the front end damage to Ken Alexander that they're repairing right there, that happened after Lyndon Amick crashed. Going to readjust the barrier. That's why pit road is closed for now.
But if you have a lot of damage, come on to pit road and get it fixed, because the penalties go to the tail end of the longest line, which is way back in this field.
That's why LePage is on pit road as well as Alexander. We're under caution early.
Imagine that.
Working the first caution of the day came out of lap 8 when Brian Weber spun out of turn 4, and then a wreck ensued here at turn 2. Now here's turn 4, Weber going around and into the barrier at the head end of pit road. Here's what happened up at turn 2.
Looked like Amick almost was going to run into the car in front of him. He checked up, and the 27 car, McMurray, got into the back of him and turned him up into the fence.
What's behind you?
Now you're riding with Alexander.
Slow down. Come on, keep going. Come on.
What happened to him is his engine died.
Right.
It's after getting into the back of Mike Harmon there.
He comes sliding up there to a stop and killed the engine and had to refire it.
Matt?
Well, Mike, earlier this week at the 60-team shop, one of the people in the office opened up a letter and out popped a flat Stanley. It originated from Tyler Ford at Lincoln Elementary in Illinois. It's bebopped around the country and ended up at the 60 shop. So for good luck, they decided to put it on the dash of Greg Biffle's Ford. The only problem is, if he wins today, they might want to take it to Texas with him for good luck as well.
Flat Stanley. Okay.
Is this like a chain letter thing?
Am I the only one that don't know what that is?
No, I'll raise my hand too.
It must be some sort of project.
Yeah.
School project, I would assume.
We'll get letters.
I'm sure next week we'll have flat Stanleys on our forehead, probably.
We're going to have one to go at the line here.
We'll put in a 4th headset for flat Stanley. 1 to go. Jeff Green leading Jason Keller, who both passed Scott Riggs at lap 5. Jimmy Spencer 4th. There's Lyndon Amick's damaged car.
Wave off
the restart. There'll be another lap or so before we go back to Green. Jimmy Spencer was the first car lined up on the inside, couldn't get a lap back.
Oh, trouble down here. Who is that? Is that the 26
It is. Amick.
Oh, no, a car just turned down. One car just turned over. It's upside down on the back straightaway.
It's Michael.
Holy cow, what is he doing?
He slammed into Amick, Darrell, and that flip turned the car right over. Look at how he hit him with the right front.
Well, he needs to get out of there. Come on, buddy. Get that fire extinguisher up here.
You okay, Michael?
Lyndon Amick spun between turns 1 and 2, and sliding down the racetrack was collected by Michael Waltrip.
Well, he's such a,
Carl went upside
Michael's
down.
6'5", he weighs about 230. It's hard for him to, he can't just jump out of the race car. But I think I see him down there. I think I see him in there moving around.
Yeah, he was moving around. The picture froze because of damage done to the in-car camera mechanism by the flip. The antenna is buried against the asphalt. So all we saw was a couple of stills, but it did indicate that he is moving in the car.
You saw real quickly on the side of his seat, LaJoy's seat. That's a seat that is designed by Randy LaJoy. We talk a lot about Jeff Burton playing a role in safety for drivers. Randy LaJoy been doing this with the seats for a long time.
Now, I've been in there like that, and you want to cut the seatbelt loose, or you want to undo the seatbelt, but if you do, you fall down on your head, so you got to be, you can see he's trying to move around in there and get himself in a position to get out. But with all those headrests and the Hans device and everything else, upside down is not a good place to be.
Michael Waltrip had a wreck at Bristol, Tennessee, where there was not much
There he is.
left of the car. He's fine.
He's just,
wow. Thank goodness.
But he's okay. Yeah, I see him now.
Could be that some of that fire extinguisher powder, he looks like he's
Looking to see what, no, how's my car?
Yeah.
He's fine, Darrell. When you start looking, how's my car? He's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the first.
Now remember,
even when you're hurt, you always want to know how the car is.
Remember, he's the driver and owner of that car.
Let's see if we can see. Well, I know what started all this. 26 car back here. He gets around on his own. People start taking evasive action. He's coming down the hill. All of a sudden, here comes Michael
right there. Just
there it goes.
Over the left front. Catapults him upside down.
Just turned him right over. Several cars involved. See the 26 car get around right there.
And everybody's trying to crowd down to the bottom.
Knowing he's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack.
The 54 car.
Yeah, Kevin Grubb is involved. So is Casey Kane.
Yates's car, Casey Kane, 98.
Now from Johnny Sauter's car.
Oh yeah, the 26 just gets around backwards.
Let's ride with Lyndon Amick.
Boy, that thing had no warning.
See Michael go by right there. Yeah.
Oh man.
Lyndon Amick taking a couple of hard shots.
Yeah, that old Dr. Pepper car was getting hit from all angles.
Yeah, at 10, 2, and 4.
It was so crowded there, right where Michael was. There was cars inside, outside. Tried to cut down under Amick and got up on his left front and went up over his left front wheel and just flipped him upside down.
Michael was headed down lower, and the 54 car shot him back up the racetrack. That's when he drove across the left front of Lyndon Amick's car.
2 years ago, he took a bad tumble at Daytona, flipped from the trioval all the way down to turn 1. Now, Matt Kenseth is one of the cars that has made a pit stop under this caution. Dick?
Well, he actually made 2 pit stops under this caution, one of which was before this. Now, the second caution came out for Michael Waltrip's crash. He came back in again. Problem was he felt the vibration. The vibration was the left front wheel was not properly on the car, so he had to come back in again. They fixed it. They were worried about the brakes. When he left, he said he thinks that the brakes are okay.
Thanks, Dick. Jack Spray continues to lead Joe Nemechek and Scott Riggs from Kevin Harvick. Wow. More NASCAR Busch Series on Fox after this.
The NASCAR Busch Series on Fox, presented by...
You're in that 2 car, you're leading the race, Jay Sauter, and everything's going fine. You think you're in the right place, doing a good job. All of a sudden, a bunch of cars go by you on the outside. And you're still wide open. Say, roll, what?
Whoa, trouble.
Boy,
the
man.
2 car upside down, over and on to Scott Riggs.
It's the big one.
Oh, boy, who is that? that's still flipping.
Sauter. It was Johnny Sauter.
There's not anybody left.
I mean, I only see about 4 or 5 cars that are coming around through 3 and 4 right now that were not in this race. They see Mike McLaughlin in 18. They're still getting upside down. Cars driving under cars. There has to be 25 cars over there.
Comes Michael Waltrip. Damaged Lyndon Amick. And you see the 2 of Johnny Sauter.
Here comes
Scott Riggs, last week's winner.
Here comes our leader, Stacy Compton.
Jason Keller, Kenny Wallace,
Kevin Grubb, who has come from 38th up to the top 5.
Toggle down with damage.
Bit of damage over the front,
not much.
Jeff Purvis.
Drivers climbing out. There is Ron Hornaday.
Look at that
going over toward Jamie McMurray.
Shane Mill in the 47 car.
Youngest driver in the race,
Joe
age 21. Nemechek wrecked.
What a mess.
Coy Gibbs out of his car, and his teammate Mike McLaughlin is the car that landed on top of him. Kind of reminiscent of a big Daytona wreck. Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte ended up that way.
I don't know if I've ever seen a wreck this big in a Busch Series race here. I don't know if I've seen a wreck this big, maybe even in a Cup event.
One time here, and back in the 70s, Tiny Lund was in it, a lot of other guys. And
23 cars, that
23
one, I think.
cars, yeah.
Jimmy Spencer, mangled nose on his car. You saw Kerry Earnhardt's damage.
The problem we have with the racing at Daytona and Talladega is this. You cannot have a single or even a couple of car incident. You run 43 cars on top of each other, you're going to have a big wreck.
Randy LaJoie. There's Nemechek. He is okay. We also saw Ron Hornaday walking away. And we'll update you as we get news on the other drivers. They're assisting Mike McLaughlin out of his car. Mike is climbing out. He's okay. Watch the 2 car.
What caused this?
Oh, Meal got into Riggs.
It looked like Riggs had to maybe back out of the throttle a little bit because Kenny Wallace's car washed up as they come off the exit of turn 2 right there, the 48 car. Right here, this is turn 2. Kenny Wallace, the 48 car right there.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like Shane Meal possibly just got into the back of the 10 car.
The 47 car, yeah.
Yeah, got into Riggs. Look at that 2 flipping. Looks like Rusty Wallace's flip in the number 2 Winston Cup car here not many years ago.
And when they hit the grass, it even tumbled more. There's Randy LaJoie. Greg Biffle.
Oh, Biffle.
There's Kerry Earnhardt.
There's everybody. Jack
Sprague, our point leader.
And the track's completely
Tim Sauter. All the Sauters.
I think we did the right thing by saying who wasn't in it.
And because the track's blocked, NASCAR has displayed the red flag because the cars can't even get through on the back stretch.
It appears to me maybe 10 or 12 cars is all that's left. Boy, that 2 car went over big time and then gets hit, tumbles. That car's, look at that thing, Larry. It's turning every which way.
And then the 21.
And then he gets in the grass. Watch this.
Shot across.
Gets hit again.
Johnny Sauter, number 2, out of his car and okay.
Amazing.
There's Riggs sideways, and he was pretty close up to the wall, Darrell. I guess you don't know if he lost his momentum in his forward bite or if Meal just got into him.
Yeah,
there's no way to tell.
Say. You come off that corner and you can get a really run on a guy in front of you, and you think something happened to him, even though maybe it didn't.
And I stand corrected. It did not look like Kenny Wallace's car moved up the racetrack for that shot right there at all.
I think the 47 got into the back of the 10 for whatever reason.
You like lucky numbers? 13 cars made it back to the start-finish line.
Wow. Happened in 1992. I can remember had a big wreck off of turn 2. They always seem to happen off of turn 2, the big ones.
Wow. Looking out of Lyndon Amick's car.
Michael Waltrip. Kenny Wallace.
What a mess.
And there, as Larry explained, you saw Kenny move up the racetrack without any contact with Scott Riggs there before this started. There's Randy LaJoie. He's okay.
Jamie McMurray, the 27.
Scott Riggs.
About $500 million worth of race cars.
Ron Hornaday. Now, because we're under a red flag condition, any of these cars that do make it back cannot be worked on. There's the 44 Mike Harmon. They can't touch these cars until the red flag is withdrawn and the track goes back under a yellow flag condition. They can look at it, they can't touch it. We're under a caution for a wreck on the back straightaway, triggered by Shane Meal's contact with Scott Riggs, and it ends up involving most of the field. We'll be right back.
Checking with Lyndon Amick, the driver of the 26 car. At least you're smiling.
Yes, another episode of As the Can Turns for the Dr. Pepper team. You know, we're struggling. I had bad finishes. Had a good car, had a great car, but I love racing like this, but this always happens, and it's just part of it. We'll be back. Sooner or later, we're going to have a good finish, I promise.
All right, thanks for your patience. Shane Meal, your side of the what happened on the race.
4 tires, and he
Trouble.
went out.
Rick,
Turn 2.
boy, that started going into turn 1. Kenny Wallace and the 19 car, a couple of guys were all down in there 3 wide,
And it's Lyndon Amick who ends up against the fence.
Amick was on the outside. He was kind of like odd man out.
Nobody got a lap back or one of their lap backs.
That started coming down the front straightaway here. They got 3 wide. That dreaded what we were talking about, funneling down into turn 1. Kenny Wallace got down on the inside, and he ran down into the corner, and he forced a couple of cars up and caused a big wreck. Here's Kenny down here. 19 car in the middle. The 19 car doesn't have much room there. Kenny clips him. That gets Kenny loose, and into the Amick he goes.
Clipped Amick and then bounced up into, or clipped Ashton Lewis and then bounced up into Amick.
Kenny was going down in there really fast. See, it gets tight. Ashton Lewis gets in. Kenny gets into Ashton Lewis.
Tim Sauter in the 19 gets in the back of Kenny Wallace right there.
Let's ride and listen with Kenny Wallace.
Outside, lap car on the bottom, right in front of you, clear low, there you go. 3 wide, 3 wide. No 3 wide, 2 wide. Still 2 wide, hang on. Yeah, go. Inside. Clear. No one come, watch your corner. Gotta do something, hold on.
There's the contact with Lewis and then Amick.
Michael and Jeff Purvis. Several of them slipping by on the inside there.
3 wide going into turn 1. You're trying to fight to get to 1 wide or 2 wide. It just don't work.
And poor old Amick, he was just up there minding his own business, and he gets clipped.
Unfortunately, he's okay.
Kid's had a rough year. It's been in several accidents that were none of really his making. As you can see there, Kenny just lost it, got up into him.
We rudely interrupted Matt Yoakum to cover that. Let's get back to Matt.
And we're going to check in with Steve.
Header, the Busch and the Busch North race that'll follow today that you'll see one of those Monday nights on Speed Channel. And Ron Hornaday Jr. taking over from Lyndon Amick. And look back through the rest of this field.